85,
90.
95.
We're playing for keeps.
We're on the market. Stay strong, sir.
Sold!
Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday, the 8th of April. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, out and about on the weekend, there was a lot happening. The market was somewhat all over the place.
Pretty strong.
Having said that, at our office, at our agency, at our collection of beautiful offices, the success rate was very high, but across the industry, soft.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say soft. I reckon that's, you sometimes exaggerate a little bit. You're a little bit prone to hyperbole.
So would you consider a 93% success rate at Gary Peer & Associates, which is 25 from 27, against an industry average of 67? You wouldn't say 67 soft?
I wouldn't say 67 to 70 is soft. I think it's a good effort from the rest of the industry, and I think they did well, Phil.
Okay.
Just not quite as well as us. Let's put the towers up there, Phil. 67% clearance rate as certainly reported by Domain, Philip, against 93. Pretty good.
Now, I just want to make the point, viewers, because if you're a recent viewer to Gary Peer at GPTV, you might not know that our results, when we say 25 from 27, that means we actually had 27 and we actually sold 25.
Yes.
The industry, though, reports at 67, but a few days later, as all of the undeclared and undisclosed reports come through, it softens down. So 67 might become 62, 61, 60.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at those towers and you see 93%, we are smashing the industry week in, week out, except for the odd week when we don't, and we don't talk about that.
Well, we do have a secret weapon, Philip, and I think it's only fair. You always talk about transparency. I think we should share with the GPTV viewers what our special weapon is, our secret weapon, our secret ingredients.
Unrehearsed. So I have no idea what he's going to say.
Well, is it ever rehearsed? Have we ever rehearsed one thing on this show ever?
I think there was one time
our
where
first
we did say, why don't we talk about that?
Well, our first episode where I said, hello, Philip, like
unscripted.
Choreographed. But Philip, we have a secret weapon.
Yes. What would that be, Gary?
It's Peter Jordan. Do you know that name?
Peter Jordan.
You know it, but you don't know how. So
Michael's brother?
No. So we entered a bidding war, a vicious bidding war against other agents. And we secured Peter Jordan. Peter Jordan is Monique Ryan's husband who takes down other boards, right? So what happened was we won. I didn't want to tell you how much we paid for Peter Jordan, but he has been taking down all the competitors' boards because he was good at it. He did it for Monique Ryan's for her campaign. And thank you, Peter, because now we're the only agent that's got a board up in all of our areas we operate in.
I do like that kind of thought process. Yes. Having said that, in one fell swoop, Gary, you've alienated all of the viewers that might be Teal supporters.
You know what?
So
they've got some humour,
Gary,
Philip.
Just cautiously.
Oh, don't be such a bitch. It wouldn't matter who it was and what party. We would have some fun with that. It didn't matter who, because apparently it's happened back as well, by the way. So apparently someone from another party has taken it. But I've got to tell you, the idea of stealing boards, I like it. I reckon we're onto something here. So
do you know what? You've got to love this. It takes a politician's husband to teach real estate agents about theft.
I know, about theft of board or advantage, of his commercial advantage. And I got to tell you, I respect the guy for it because, we're the only ones with anything for sale now in our areas because Peter Jordan, how big would his garage have to be?
He's got a warehouse down in Moorabbin.
He needs more space. He needs more space as the elections get closer.
And if you happen to be watching, listen, just remember that humour is an important part of life. Don't take yourself
and don't apologise for it.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Whoever watches this is either tuned out and doesn't like our humour or they're part of the joke, Phil, and I get people saying that all the time.
I do like it.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question that's got a semi-joke, semi-serious.
Okay.
And it's not political, but it's kind of political.
You're on a roll this morning,
aren't you? I'm on a roll.
For the first time, I feel like I'm being cut off.
Yeah, that's good. It's about high time. Your wife would be proud of me. The Trump effect. Is it possible that people now turn to property because shares... I don't know. How's your portfolio looking at the moment? Mine ain't so good.
My portfolio is looking much smaller than it was a couple of months ago.
Another 5 years of work for you, mate?
So the Trump effect, look, there is no question.
Yeah.
Love the man, dislike the man.
Whatever
your thoughts are, whatever your thoughts are, he has made
some noise.
He's thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. There's no question. We have no idea what's going to happen in the world over the next 3 years of his term. Having said that, the world order as we knew it is now crumbling around. The question, viewers, you have to ask yourself is, when the dust settles on all of this, would you prefer to have been able to drive past a building where you own either all of it or some of it, or would you rather look at your equity portfolio and just want to be crying? Who knows what's going to happen? What we do know is that you have to live somewhere, and regardless of what the American president does or doesn't do, or future American presidents do or don't do, the truth is there's nothing like going home to your own place that you can call yours, whether it be a one-bedroom apartment or a multi-million-dollar palace. There's nothing like saying, welcome home.
There's no place like home, is there, Phil? No place like home, especially if you've got your own home, even if it's mortgaged the hilt like some of us have got, Phil. But let's just talk about it, though, because people are now, is it possible they're driven back to property?
There's no question.
Because shares are, well, they've been shown to be a little bit scary,
Decimated.
Yeah, they have been decimated.
There's no question, Gary. One of the things that we do see when the stock market, whether it be the Australian stock market or the US stock market or the world stock market, when that does crumble, there's a flight back to real estate. People just love the certainty of knowing that people have to live somewhere. So put your roller skates on, sales team, because equity markets are going to look a little bit ordinary probably for the next 12 months or so. So get prepared to be turning people's cash into solid bricks and mortar.
I tell you what is happening, Phil, because, you can be in a situation and not have the helicopter view, right? We're all Victorians, and let's face it, Victoria's had a tough time, right? Through the lockdowns and through through not only, I'm not just talking about Melbourne and Carlton as teams, but
we were the garden state, then we were the lockdown state, now we're the broke state.
We were the place to be, we became the place to flee, right? But let's just talk a little bit about what's happening, because interstate investors are buying in Melbourne. It is happening. It's happening in real time. It's happening on the ground, Phil. And we're seeing this now because if you're in Brisbane and you've seen prices shoot up or whatever, or you're in Sydney where they're, everything's just nuts. You look at Melbourne, you think, this is a livable city. All the events are there, great transport, great restaurants, with the ones that haven't shut down or whatever. But anyway, there's a lot of great things going on. And a lot of people are saying, I can see the value in Melbourne, and people are coming from interstate. So, are they smarter than us? Or, you know what I say? Well, it's like that song, do you see what I see? They don't see what we see, do
Well,
they?
you did pose the question, are they smarter than us? Are you talking about you and me?
No, we know.
Or
well,
just
everyone's smarter than us, but I'm just talking about the
Gary,
people that are interstate.
You might be onto something, because when interstate people can't start buying pieces of Melbourne, we've probably hit the bottom. We've been saying that for quite some time. We reckon real estate can only go one way from here, and that's up. And we're seeing it happening because we did, this is the segue finally.
Oh, yeah, nicely done.
This is the segue to finally, we had some really good competitive bidding across our 27 auctions. Again, 25 out of 27, multiple bidders across a lot of properties. A lot of properties also sold before auction. Gary, give us a quick summary about what's disclosed and what we can talk about.
I was going to say to you, is it just like that? Because it felt at some stage during the weekend, it felt just like that. The market has changed. Now, I don't know, I'm not going to go the early crow. We've got a short week this week because we've got, the Passover, which affects many people.
Passover,
then we've got Easter after
Anzac
that.
Day,
Anzac
school
holidays.
Yeah.
So there's lots going on. Phil, let's talk about some of the ones that sold, and I know you like the disclosed ones. So let's kick off with Clifton Street. Phil, in Caulfield East, you graced the great people of Caulfield East with your presence at the auction
Gary,
on the
love
weekend.
that part of Caulfield, East Caulfield, which is between the racecourse and really the highway.
It's underrated, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
so
underrated.
lovely spot there, Gary. Clifton Street's a great street. Shout out to the owner. Shout out to Leon Goosenfitter's team who sold this successfully. I did the auction. They did the hard work.
So on just a little bit above its range, Philip, which was sort of around that 1.6 mark. The price is undisclosed. Phil, I went down to Cairns. I got myself down to Cairns on Saturday for this beautiful home, Philip, in Bentley. And gee, we spend a lot of time in Bentley these days.
Bentley is, we've got an office there, Gary. Carnegie, Murrumbeena, Bentley. It's been a very successful corridor.
And we're selling the best homes in Bentley. We're blessed to be doing so.
Well, why don't you tell us
Leon
about it, Gary?
Goosenfetter and the great team down there.
Let's do that.
30 Cairns Grove, Philip, was sold for $1,590,000, which was over its range.
Yes.
Two bidders going for it, being the same family. I had a number of sales with the same family for many, many years on the weekend, Phil, including the property that I sold at 193 Booran Road with three bidders, which was sold well above its range for an undisclosed price.
So we are starting to see multiple bidders returning to auctions.
Well, we're also seeing, we're seeing land back
Yep.
Because remember, like there was a time a year ago.
Couldn't give land away?
Well, I don't know, couldn't give it away. Could give it away, but there was people that were scared about the building costs, scared about, builders going broke, scared about the costs of materials and getting labour. Now people are saying, you know what? I'm going to swing the bat and have a crack.
Why not?
Which is great. So 147A, Bamboo Road, delightful vendors, well done. Delightful buyers, Philip. In fact, I think the buyer was Swiss. And at one stage you said to him during the auction, do you speak German, Swiss or French and English? And he said yes.
Yes, all three. Shout out to that buyer who really humiliated all the agents in the room who struggled to speak English.
Yes, right, yeah.
But I did get him back when, as I was about to knock it down, I said, just by the way, you've been bidding in Swiss francs.
Exactly right,
so,
yes.
Yeah.
He didn't agree to that.
No, he didn't.
No, but it was a good try anyway. Imagine if he had have agreed to it.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting.
I'm not sure what the conversion rate is, but we'll get it up on screen now.
I'm not sure. That would have been a few more dollars, wouldn't it? 147A Bamboo Road, Philip, was sold. Two bidders sold for in excess of its range. Within its range. And 18 to 198 was the range, Philip. One Tennis Grove.
Or the top end of the range, I'll have you know.
Yes.
Tennis Grove, what a great street. Love that street
too.
Shout out to the vendor who has been a long time supporter of our business.
Yep.
So shout out to you, George. Having said that, George, you did stay in that property for 25 years.
Selfish, we say.
And quite frankly, as I said at the auction, if people stay in their houses for 25 years, Gary, we can't buy new boats.
No.
We can't
Get
buy
a plane.
we can't buy new Range Rovers.
No.
Or
We can't
Rolexes.
get a holiday house.
All of the
nothing.
sort of pretentious what is that word? Accoutrements.
Accoutrement.
Is it accoutrement?
Is that it? I think it is. We've got
So,
one of our
if any of the viewers are English teachers, is it accoutrements? The shiny baubles and things that real estate agents like to have in
or
their
we like
life.
to have with people moving often. But when you stay in a home for 25 years, you're just selfish.
Yeah.
That's what you are. You might be happy, but you're
And
selfish.
we can't buy accoutrements.
We can't get any accoutrements for that, Phil.
I did use a word which Jeremy Rosen's picked me up on at an auction on the weekend, where I said that there was a property. This was in Milton, in Mitford Street, which is a block of beautiful three apartments.
That was a great auction, wasn't it?
Where, as part of the spiel, I said, it's a wonderful block of land. You could do so many things with the property. You could titillate the property, right? Now, I've never used the word titillate at an auction.
Not sure about it
before.
But if there's a place to use it, I reckon secured is a place.
So viewers, we're looking for more words that we can drop in at our auctions that shows that we're actually well read and intelligent.
Yes.
So if you've got some words like accoutrements or titillate, we'd love to hear from you.
That auction in Mitford Street, by the way, that was also a very long-held property, wasn't it, from those vendors?
I'm not sure, Gary. So
maybe
move
not.
along.
I don't know. But anyway, we've talked about it now, so I'm going to put it up on the screen because what a great auction it was and what a huge crowd, Phil.
Big crowd.
1, 2 and 351 Mitford Street, Elwood. I think that when you go to St Kilda and Elwood, you get a little bit loose. You go back to your young boy self because we did start our career in and around Ackland Street, let's face it. And I think you get a little bit back, back in the old days.
Well, Gary,
you get a bit loose and a bit wild.
Think about when we were, if we go back into the 80s when we were working in St Kilda or Elwood, there were working people on the streets, if you know what I mean.
Well, you had working people, Europeans, mafioso.
You didn't have to go very far to get a bag of white stuff or stuff that you can smoke. It was everywhere.
You didn't need to go to the TAB to have a bet either. You could just go across the road in Ackland Street and off you went.
So when I do go back to auction in St Kilda and Elwood, which is most weekends, I'm hardwired to go with the 80s flow.
The wild inner 80s child comes out within you.
Yes,
Can't help it, can you?
No.
And you couldn't help it in Ackland Street either. Another home where the vendors were lovely, delightful.
36 years.
But selfish.
36 years.
36 years.
Selfish
anyway,
woman that owns that apartment. If you're watching, you are the most delightful, lovely person.
Tongue in cheek.
Selfish.
Yeah, we say it tongue in cheek. Look, let's not keep going through our auctions because we're just getting a bit ridiculous. Should we talk about some of the sales that are coming up? Because we have got some, Phil.
Let's talk
not
about
as many
this weekend's auction action.
It's
going to be a quiet month of April, but we will find things to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we have no problem with that. We've got plenty to say always, not always making sense. In fact, really making sense. But we're not waiting for the weekend, Phil, because we are rocking and rolling on the 9th of April. in Bridge Street. That's tomorrow, Philip. And I've got the auction honours at 6:30 to be selling for at 40 to 42 Bridge Street.
Gary, single level heaven. This 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, beautifully refurbished throughout. Just magnificent. Move straight in, get on with life. Love that property.
Phil, Jeremy Rosens has the auction honours midday on Thursday at high noon. He's going to be auctioning 1 to 4 at 5 Garden Court, Elwood. What a beautiful property.
Gary, this is as good as it gets. If you're looking for an investment or a conversion to 2 properties, or do with this what you will, it sits on 597 square metres of land. It is 4 older style apartments with off-street car parking for 4 cars, 2 lock-up garages and 2 car spaces. Buy that as an investment, buy it as somewhere to convert to your own residence, buy it with 3 of your cousins if that be your wish, but make sure it's yours because it's great real estate.
And interestingly, talking about 3 of your cousins and being, jocular as you are, but that property in Mitford Street, there was a lot of interest to people with those 3 apartments wanting it for their personal use.
Live downstairs, put one of your delinquent children upstairs.
Put your girlfriend or boyfriend over there.
Whatever your choice, however
exactly right.
you identify, Gary, is absolutely fine as long as you are the buyer, you get the choice.
You do indeed. You will have the choice of purchasing or not purchasing 14A Jenkins Street, Caulfield South, your midweek auction on Thursday at 6:30 p.m.
Gary, we talk about setting the benchmark for modern family living. This is beautiful. 4 bedrooms and a study, 3 magnificent bathrooms, everything that opens and shuts. A beautiful home to come home to. Good luck to the buyer who buys that perfect home.
We have a busy pre-auction, or so I should say, we have a busy pre-Easter auction Saturday, Phil, because this is the penultimate Saturday before Easter Saturday. We won't have any auctions on Easter Saturday, Philip, because we've got a big race meeting on then. No, it's not that reason, but we do
it's the Easter Cup, is it?
Well, we had the Easter Cup at Caulfield actually on Saturday, but came second. But I do come second a lot. Phil, let's talk about what's happening at 9:30 a.m. Nice early start on Saturday. Leo Samuel's going to be in Royal Avenue in his regal garb doing a wonderful auction.
What a great spot that is. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Can't go wrong with that sort of real estate. You're underpinned by the vibrant Glen Huntly Road, Glen Huntly.
We have double auction action at 11:30, Phil. I've got my gig at 4 at 210 Inkerman Street in St Kilda East. I'll be meeting Vanessa McGlynn there.
And John Sweepo, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Lots to love there, Gary. Good entry into the market.
Brett Street, Murrumbina is a great spot, Phil. And we've got Leo Samuel meeting Dizzy Wang
and Christian de Freck there, Gary. That's a really good property. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, beautiful garden areas. Love that property, love that location.
You have your one and only auction this weekend, Phil, in 14 Derby Street in Armidale, round the corner from your joint. You're looking forward to that one,
Gary,
I'm sure.
Love that spot because you've got High Street on your doorstep. You've got all of the wonderful facilities, tram and High Street, tram and Malvern Road, walk to the train station, walk to the shops. This is an incredible home, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, gorgeous garden areas, and Derby is really just one of the best located properties.
Now, Phil, I'm just going to be right next door to the office at 356 Oran Road. How's the view from this magnificent apartment?
Check out that apartment, Gary. That's an amazing building. And of course, you've got the convenience of having Woolworths at the bottom of the building. This is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2 car spaces, a storage room and a storage locker. That is just an amazing property because you've got the trams in Dandenong Road as well, plus our office, which you can drop in to at any time. And,
have a cup of coffee, have a chocolate.
Lend you some sugar.
Gary Beer chocolate. Yeah, we've got those nice little blocks. They're very good. A bit addictive, actually. Blenheim Street, Philip. Blenheim or Blenheim?
Well, you say Blenheim, I say Blenheim. That is a wonderful apartment with the most incredible terrace. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces. What a great property.
Phil, I've been to that terrace. It is massive with beautiful sweeping views. I'm excited.
You're right. You've got all of Carlisle Street on your doorstep, plus the tram and the train. We love Carlisle Street in Balaclava. It's incredible.
I'm excited to do that auction at 1:30, Phil. Leo Samuel brings home Saturday with 3 auctions in a row. He's a busy man. He's going to firstly be in Glen Huntly Road, Glen Huntly.
Meeting Dizzy Wang and Christian de Freck there. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Great building, great spot.
And he can just walk up the road to his next auction, Philip, because it's also in Glen Huntly Road, 1242 Glen Huntly Road.
Meeting Rishi Thacker and Alex Stupa there. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces. That's like the Big Mac of apartments.
It is, and a hop, skip and jump away on Saturday, our final auction, Philip, at 3:30 p.m. Bringing down the curtain for our last auction for a little while, a couple of weeks, is the auction at 6 at 33 Howe Street, Murrumbidgee.
Izzy Anstey and Leo Samuel have the honours there. What an incredible looking building that is. That's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces, gorgeous courtyard garden area. What a fantastic property.
And before we go, Phil, there's a couple of homes to wrap up and talk about. One of those is Bowles Avenue, Caulfield North. A lot of people don't know where Bowles Avenue is, Phil.
Yes, Gary.
And you've got to say it the right way. You can't say Bowles, it's Bowles.
Bowles, so viewers, near the intersection of Cambrook Road and Balaclava Road. So you've got the park, Caulfield Park. You've got the tram in Balaclava Road.
Supermarket.
You've got the supermarket at the East Caulfield Shopping Centre.
Glass house
So literally you can walk to the
races,
Caulfield train station and the races.
Yep.
So what a great location. That is 725 square metres of land, a very livable, lettable home on it, 4 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, but also you've really got redevelopment possibilities there, Gary.
And I know you can take your glasses on and off, but I know you don't want to miss out talking about this home at 489 Creon Road, Gardenvale, Phil, because you slipped it in and said, we must talk about
Gary, this is an amazing property because this sits on a very, very large parcel of land, 920 square metres. It's a beautiful home that you can move into and never spend a cent. It's a beautiful home that you could further add to and build out or build up subject to council approval, or it's the most amazing parcel of land which you could redevelop, again, subject to council approval. So love that property, love that spot.
The glasses are off for the last time. They've been placed down with some conclusion.
With conviction.
And with conviction and conclusion. And that is a big wrap on this week's GPTV. We're in April. Can you believe it? It's going fast.
I can believe it, Gary.
I find
Before
it
you
hard
know,
to
it'll be
believe.
the 30th of June, and sadly, we'll have to look back with our account and go, there's always next year.
Exactly right. In the meantime, we'll keep you involved and informed with all the real estate news. I'm Gary Peer.
I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.